while back, I posted a question on Smiling Daniel's guide page. It said technique or spots. I'm in a creek today that I've never fished before. I fell in behind 3 boats, and I've already boated, I don't know, 10 to 12 pounds, and that's not even counting non-keepers. And I broke off one pretty decent fish using technique that explains it. I mean, I fell in behind 3 boats. All 3 of them told me they're not doing any good, and I'm catching fish where they just fished. Technique. That's why you got to cast in just the right spot. I threw at that bush 3 times before that fish right there hit it. You got to get it in just the right spot. We got bluebird skies, water temperature 79 degrees, a little murky. We had a hard rain last night. It flooded us. We slept in a tent, and it got everything wet. I think I was wet to the bone this morning. That's what I get for trying to keep a tent for 25 years. But I got a little tip that there were some active fish in the creek, and decided I better come check it, and I'm glad I did. I've lost track. We didn't even start the camera. We didn't even start the camera at first because we wasn't sure we were going to catch anything. So the first 8 or 9 fish I caught, we didn't even get on tape, on video. But they're in here. We're not catching any big ones yet. Who's to say it could happen any minute? You got to put that bug way back in the spot where nobody else wants to put their jig, because they're afraid they'll lose it. We were fishing a high spot, probably big as this boat. And a tournament fisherman that thought he owned the spot, I guess, just came right in and cut right in front of us and started casting right on top of us. We exchanged a few unpleasantries and we went about our business. My point is for the people that get their boat out Labor Day, I agree. Fishermen don't own the lake. You don't either. You got to respect each other's right to be where you're at. Just because you're just now getting your boat out doesn't mean you can run over the top of everybody. Show a little respect. And for the love of the Holy God, prep your boat before you put it on the ram. Ding! There's a little tip from Smiling Down. I was swimming that jig through that grass. It's just a little dark patch of grass right there. This fish just peed all over me. I was swimming it, and the hook was back almost all the way by, it was behind his eye. So that told me right there that he didn't give it a second thought. He wanted to eat it, so he ate it. Pitch out there, swim through the little isolated patches of grass. Be looking for just little dark spots. Now I know that wasn't a big fish, but you know what? I'm catching.
Unlike me.
And that's the fun part. I'm catching. I've probably caught 500 fish today, and Heather's caught maybe 1.
I haven't caught any.
Okay. Then I've caught 501. I was giving you credit for one of mine. Fish urine. I'm always attracted to little islands of bushes like this, because if you think about it, it's got, the water can wash through it, so the fish have got an escape route anywhere they go. they can just come back and forth, come and go as they please. They're not trapped up against a bank. So I never pass up an island, especially on Lake Barkley. You got islands you can fish on Lake Barkley, little small islands like this. You like to pull up there and catch 20 pounds in just 30, 40 minutes or less sometimes. Anywhere the water can move through. But it's got a lot of shade, it's got a lot of cover. Try to fish try to fish the more of the shaded side. Fish like that will be right out in the middle. That fish, look where that jig's at before I pull it out. He definitely wanted it. Yeah, it's always down to his gill. I can get it though without hurting him. There we go, buddy. Thank you. I've come upon what I'll call a spot on a spot. What looks like a spot upon a spot. A lot of guys will come around and they'll fish all these outside bushes. If I see a little opening in the bushes, like you see right over here, nose your boat up in there, because a lot of guys don't want to fool with it. Pitch way back up in there. I might not get a bite, but then again I might catch that fish that the first 5 guys, 10 guys didn't want to fool with, trying to get their boat up in there, the fish up in there, and that's normally where I'll end up catching my fish, is in a spot where nobody wants to pitch in there, because they're afraid if they get hung up, they got to go in there after it. There we go. That's what we've been looking for, ain't it? Flipping bush bass all day long, son. All day long. Gosh, breath stinks. That fish was on the very last piece of cover out in front of this stuff. I don't know if they pulled out a little bit, or that fish is just wandering around through looking for fry, because we've already fished 2 spots this morning where there was no fry and we got no bites, 0 bites. As soon as we get over here in this shallower water, it's 78 degrees and my unit's showing 0, so it's actually probably about a foot deep, 1.5 feet where I'm sitting right now, because I got my trolling motor raised up. Pulled through just a little nothing looking piece of cover. I'm not sure if the camera could see it or not. Yeah. That fish grabbed it and started to swim off with it. I know a lot of people don't want to fish like this. They just want to fly through here and throw in their spinner baits and crankbaits. Believe me, it's fun. I love doing that too. They say this is too much work, but I'm going to tell you, if you can learn to have patience to do this right here, you'll find you'll catch bigger fish. Right where people just fish through, you'll catch fish, because they're leaving these fish behind. They're just trying to collect the fish that are just aggressive and ready to eat. I'm trying to catch any and every fish that's in that area, because if I'm fishing against somebody, I don't want them falling in behind me. Let's say I'm fishing a tournament and the guy falls in behind me and he catches a 7-8 pound fish right behind me. That's when you start thinking about your game plan, and that's when it all falls apart. You don't focus on, you're not focusing on what you're fishing. You're more focused on what the guy behind you's doing. And when you start doing that, you're playing his game instead of your own. So always try to focus ahead. Fish forward. Don't never look back. Some of those guys will take their rod and like that to make you think they're catching a big one to get in your head. I know because I've done it to people. But always fish forward. If you do look back, all you do is go, hey, congratulations, jerk. Save the jerk part for when you turn around. Let you carry a gun. Or you're a black belt karate. Or your boat's a lot faster than his. Fish. Hit it as soon as it hit the water, and I sent him flying. And I'm gonna make him pee. Cody, get him, boy, get him, get him, get him. All right, there you go. Have it. Oh no! Oh, I think that was a big fish. One come up and tried to get it as I swam over that bush and get a stick instead of him. Look at that. I missed him twice. He got my stomach. That might be a frogfish there. Too close now. Now I messed it up. Give him one more shot. He knows. He's pretty aggressive. There he is. Woo! How about that? He missed it twice and then he got burned. That's why. There you go, buddy. Get him. Hey, buddy. Get him. Get him. The famous Cody Lee loves his pig. You gotta raise that boy right. Taking fish is just like taking kid fishing. He won't be getting all into drugs and everything else. Let's swim that again. Might be more than one there. There he is. Oh, he come on. That little old bush here is holding a bunch of fish. There again, isolated cover away from everything. I got 4 strikes there and only got 1 fish out of it. I'm going to say 1.5 because I had that one coming to the boat and he just come off. Of course, they don't believe that in a tournament, so they don't do you no good. Can't weigh those halfers. You can see somebody's just throwing like, I don't know if you can see it or not, But you can see someone's thrown a, looks like a, what kind of tree is that?
It's a Christmas tree.
It kind of looks like a fern, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people say don't fish it if it's got that green on it, but fern's okay. People that throw the cedar trees in with green on it, you don't want to fish those while it's still got the green on it because it puts an acid in the water, and the fish won't gather around it. They won't be around it until it turns, till all the little green parts are gone. Makes them kind of sick. Nothing won't hardly get around it until all that's gone. How about it?
Yeah, right.
There you go. I called that one. Is it mine since I called it?
No.
Well, see if I extend the hand of generosity to you again.